Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you all again. So before I get into what we're working on today, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for sale. It's still a part of the Steam summer sale for 50% off. It ends in, I guess 3 hours. So basically, if you're gonna buy it on sale, you gotta buy it before the end of the stream. It's a 2D roguelite shooter. It's my first commercial release as a full-time indie dev. And if you do play it, leave a review. I would very much appreciate that. I've also got my new Udemy course, Create a Complete Online Co-op Multiplayer Game in Godot 4. This is fresh. This was just released this week. So if you want to learn how to make a multiplayer game in Godot and you like my teaching style and my other courses, this is a great way to learn everything you need to learn about multiplayer game development, and it's a great way to support me as well. So the links for those things are in the description below. Use my referral code if you buy my courses. I get the overwhelming majority of the sale when you do that. And yeah, we got the nice little hot and new label here. So yeah, anyway, I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I've been working a little bit on a couple of things. One, I created an effect for when a card is disabled. So this would be like if it's exhausted or paralyzed, there's this effect that kind of looks like a corruption effect on it. Doesn't look that great in the editor, but if I go ahead and open up the test card and I just run this scene with that effect on. Oh, let's see if it builds. Let's see if it builds. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's kind of the effect that we get when the card gets disabled. So that's a nice visual effect. I'll probably have more visual effects like that, but yeah, that's something that I worked on off stream yesterday. And also I've been working on doing some updates to the card inspector. So I've added some new I've added some new icons to the card inspector here. So basically, enchantments have icons, abilities have icons. This little swirl here is an ability icon. And then this kind of like demon skull thing is a debuff icon. So I've got different icons for all the different kinds of statuses that exist on a card. And then the debuffs are also going to be explained on the right-hand side here. So we got exhaust being explained there. So I think on this stream, I want to make some layout changes to this card inspection screen because the text, it's hard to get the text aligned. Like this situation where you want the text to be right aligned, like in this little box here, but then have an icon right next to the text is really hard to do as the text gets larger and it wraps. So I think I'm going to experiment with a different layout for this screen, but we'll get into that in a second. Hello, Personal Haiti, welcome back. Good to see you again. Hello, Schlurgy. Good to see you as well. Always good to see you. Emerson, welcome back. Neozoid lurking again. Welcome, welcome. Ito Makes Games, hello there. I'm muted, okay. Crazy Golden Apple, welcome back to you as well. Oh, the other thing too is I also updated this little grid indicator. So I don't know if you remember, but previously there was like a big grid here. I changed that to a more minimalist view with little icons, and this thing is basically just a quick way of seeing what cells is going to be affected by this card. So yeah, I think that's looking better. What was I gonna do? I need to check. I want to check something. Run manager. I want to add a core vid to my board, I think, wherever that's happening. I think that's going to be right. I'm not sure. Actually, let's add embalming fluid. Let's see what that does. I want to check that little grid indicator for that. Yeah, so you get something like this, which indicates that it's affecting the entire board. Might be a little overkill, but that's okay for now. That's okay. All right, so yeah, I want to maybe restructure this screen a little bit. See if I can get this looking better. So I need to display the statuses of the card. I also need to display the ability explanations. So let me think. I like this view here. I think what I'll do is I'll keep this view chunked like it is. And then maybe I'll just left align these things over this way. Find a place for this grid indicator. And then just move these over to the right. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. So we're going to do some restructuring. So we've got a VBox container here. Okay, we're going to need to do a lot of restructuring here. This descriptions container. This is the ability. Let's call this card info container. Let's just hide that for now. Okay, and then we're gonna make this whole thing is an HBox container. That's probably gonna go away. But we're gonna make this a overview container. Let's change this type to an HBox container. Then add child VBox container under that. Put those things under there. Good. What did I make this separation here? 8. So I need to make this VBox container 8. 8 separation. Very nice. Okay, and the reason I made this an HBox container is I'm going to take this and put that there. And we got the grid indicator as well. Oh, I see. We'll have to find a different place for that grid indicator, but I think that's going to be okay. Okay, let's add a VBox container here. This is going to have a separation of 8. We'll put the overview container in there. And then we're going to take the, what is it? We're going to take the card info container and put that under there. Okay, and then this. Oh, this is tricky. Let's undo that. Maybe the card info container can stay there. The problem is this is all right aligned and this is going to be left aligned here. So that needs to change actually. Right, okay. Just arranging boxes, that's all we're doing. I don't know, actually. What happens if I do left align these things? Shrink begin. This is left aligned. Then the stats container. Shrink begin. Shrink begin. Does this have a custom minimum size? Something has a custom minimum size in here. I think. Oh, this does. The title label does. Oh, interesting. What if we just put the, let's see, I'll put the card on the other side. That seems good to me. And then this ability or the card info container. Yeah, so now these things can be left aligned here. So this, I think, is configured to, let's configure that to shrink begin. Okay, and we've got this little padding issue here, which we'll fix in just a second. But I think that's looking a little bit better, maybe? This is still too wide, which could present a problem. I wonder if I move the card, move that there. There we go. I think that's a little bit more reasonable. We've got that chunk now. This ability description stuff. What is this doing here? Get rid of that. Yeah, there's still all that white space there. Don't know exactly what to do about that, but I think we can kind of take a look at what's going on here. I don't think anything's going to break with respect to the node references. Yeah. Seems to be okay. Readability focus stream. It's an admirable how you focus on one problem on one stream at a time. Yeah, we're going to probably do, depending on how long this takes, probably going to do this for a good chunk of the stream, and then there are some map improvements that I want to do, but we'll see. What if instead of showing the damage, poison, and enchant info on the right, what if it only appeared when the type was being hovered over? Would probably let the card feel less cluttered. Yeah, I thought about doing that, where you could just like hover over these items and get the ability explanations. But I think it's also kind of nice to just be able to read everything without having to hover. But done with work and ready to jam. Welcome, Night Raven Games. Also, welcome, Balato. Hello, Shirley. Good morning to you. Good to see you, as always. Ali, welcome. Nefer, hello, hello. Yeah, I think this chunk is really the problem here. This padding misalignment here is kind of bothering me. So I think the way to fix that is to... Where is that? In my card info container here, we are going to put a margin container around that card info container there. Why did that shrink? I don't know why that happened. Okay, oh, because, yeah, never mind. I know why that happened. Okay, so this margin container, I believe these are, let me think. So this here is 13 pixels across. So we need to do a margin left on the margin container here of 13, and that will get everything aligned. And so now everything's like nested properly. So let's see what that looks like. That should be cleaner. The number one thing you can do to have clean UIs is make sure that your padding and your margins are consistent. See how everything is aligned to this line right here? And also the vertical spacing should be equal. Like even this right here, there's too much vertical spacing between these elements and these elements. So I need to figure out that as well. Unfortunately, this looks like, wait a minute, let's see. Vertical is shrink center. Why is that shrink center? Oh, I even changed the line spacing here. Can't do too much of a line spacing, so I think there's just extra padding. I think that's for, yeah, that's for when the words dip below like that. Or the letters, I mean. I forgot there's like a technical name for this. But I think that's about as good as I can get. So what we could do instead is sort of measure the distance between this and this. So that's 15 or 4, well, let's see. That's 14 pixels. But here, it's only, well, let's do from here to here. It's only 9 pixels. Oh, the other thing is that these might not have the proper spacing either. Well, actually, maybe I want those to be closer together. But then definitely the spacing between these two. So I'm just going to add some extra padding to the top to make it roughly equal. What did I say it was? It needs to be 14, so the padding top needs to be 5. So that's just going to create at least the impression of these spaces being equal to each other. So that's the important thing. So yeah, I think that looks much cleaner. Still got to figure out what to do about this. What I would like to do is bring the top of the card into alignment with the top of the text here. I got to figure out what to do with this grid indicator too. It looks like it's kind of floating there, but that might be okay for now. But yeah, it's a question of what to do about these things here, I think. Hello, Red Eye Games, welcome. I like the spacing in between. Was taking your Udemy course and stumbled upon this channel yesterday and instantly recognized the voice. Love your work. Oh, well, awesome. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that. And I'm glad you're here. Always fun when people first find out about me through my courses and then come here, so that's great. Hello, Brute Fred. Welcome. First time tuning in, wanted to say thanks for the Survivors course. Been really helpful for getting into Godot. You're welcome. And like I said, I do have a new Udemy course available now, the online cooperative multiplayer course. So if you've been interested in getting into online with Godot, networked Godot multiplayer, then that's a great opportunity to learn it. Okay, add out of the way again. Now what I gotta do, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this. Let's see, what am I gonna do? It looks kind of weird. I think what needs to happen, this needs to be centered in the screen, I think, this part. So let's see, how can I do that? I think the easy way to do that is going to be, we've got this HBox container here, which contains that and that and that. Oh well, card container there. Nope, let's do another HBox container. So now we've got another HBox container. Good. What's the separation here? 16. So what I could do is I can just add another margin container in here. And then I could say expand. I don't know why this HBox container has such a small size. Why does this have such a small size? Oh, this margin container probably has massive paddings on it. Yeah. Let's do 32, 32. Okay. Does that look good at all? Let's see. Now it looks unbalanced because there's nothing on this side. Wonder what it looks like with the more complex card descriptions. Hello, Snupbill. Thank you for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Always generous. And we've got the Yummers message in the chat that we all love. Hello, Adam. Welcome back. As I live and breathe. Yes, it's me. I'm here. Just in time for the Yummers. Yep. Thanks again, Snupbill. Always appreciated. This is not working. I think that grid indicator is unfortunately adding a little bit of noise. So let's see. Let me just hide that for now. Let me just hide that for now and see what happens. Yeah, it's still the problem with that text. I don't know how to lay out the screen. Excuse me. I'm not a UX designer, unfortunately. You guys live and breathe? Yes. Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hello, Zoltan. Is the multiplayer coverage in your course applicable to a 3D PvP type of project? I know zero networking, but I would like to implement online PvP eventually. Yeah, I mean, I think the core concepts that are introduced are going to be applicable whether you're doing 3D or 2D. And yeah, you should be able to easily take what you learn in that course and apply it to a PvP. In this case, it's a cooperative game, so you're fighting, it's like PvE basically. But there's nothing fundamentally that bars you from slightly tweaking what you learn and making it PvP. So yeah, definitely, I would definitely consider it. And by the way, there's a lot of preview videos available in the course. I think I have like 10 or so that are all different portions of the course. So you can watch the early videos for free. You can watch some of the later videos for free. And if it seems like it's going to be useful stuff that you want to learn, then yeah, go ahead and get the course. That looks so good. What looks good? Are you liking the UI the way it is now? Sorry, one second. I have a frog in my throat. I hope that muted me. I don't know if it did or not, but oh well. Do you plan to align the item icon with the tags or with the item name? I think I want to align the icon with the top of the text here. So I got to do that still. I think that will help quite a bit. But I'm also just wondering if I want to put the item icon there. I mean, I could take a different approach to this too, where I could create just like this as a sliding drawer here. So just like this is a sliding drawer, I could make it so that the card inspection also opens a sliding drawer on this side. And then I could just sort of like vertically align everything, which might be easier. So that's something that I'm considering as well. That basilisk guy looks pretty good. If I aligned it purely vertically, I'd need to add a scroll bar, which would be fine. I was going to need to add scroll bars to this screen anyway. Shoot. What do I want to do? Hello, Parallel Highway. Welcome back. For someone low on budget, would you recommend publishing games based off mostly free commercial use sprites to start? You can definitely do that. I think the problem with using available or like royalty-free sprites is that if the sprite pack that you're using doesn't have a sprite that you want to use, then it's going to be hard to find another pack that matches that style, or basically impossible to find another pack that matches the style. So if you're going to go that route, try to find at least a pack that contains a lot of material to work with. And it could be an interesting case of limitations too, where you just kind of like constrain yourself to using only what's in the pack. But that would be an okay place to start, I think. When making a project with plans have online functionality, so a lot of pre-structuring to be done in the architecture, I think you're going to have a lot easier time if you build the game from the ground up being multiplayer than if you try to add multiplayer later. So I don't know if I would say that there's a lot of pre-structuring to do, but I would say that if you build it as a multiplayer game from the start, it's going to be a lot easier. So if you know you want multiplayer, build it as a multiplayer game from the beginning. You're doing a 2-team small game jam. I think you'll check it out later when it's out. Yeah, you're welcome to send me the jam submission when you're done, and I'll see if I can check it out. Your course isn't hot and new now. Yes, gotta love those Udemy tags. Write a book. Oh man, that would be so much effort. Is there a way to make the additional info, the poison description, appear when you hover over the word poison? That could be, I mean, that's going to be hard to do. I already tried doing something similar, like underlining these things and making them clickable with rich text label. The problem is that it kind of violates my 8 color rule because you can't style the underlines and stuff. So that's a problem, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I also like the text being just always available. It reduces the amount of work that you have to do when you're just trying to like understand what the card is doing. Hello, Eralindo. New to your channel. I want to find useful tutorials about learning Godot and also how to code better. Like reading, I don't know what CLRs refers to. But yeah, there's plenty of good resources on Godot for sure. We'll upload a video about how multiplayer works, but only for paid. Well, if you want the comprehensive view, then the course, yeah, is there. But I could do a couple videos on multiplayer for free, maybe. No promises, but I could definitely do that. Can you tell me about this game you're making here? Yeah, this is a collectible card game grid inventory management auto battler with a necromancy, alchemy, and medieval science theme, where the hook of the game is that you can alchemize cards together. So each card has these abilities. When you alchemize cards together, you can get abilities from both of the input cards or all of the input cards as an output result. So you could create cards that have abilities that they typically don't have. So the dowsing rod is a perfect example. This dowsing rod doesn't have any abilities, but it has a baked in 50% crit chance. So what you could do is you could alchemize this dowsing rod with something else, like a skeleton, for instance, and a potential output is a skeleton that deals 8 damage with a 50% crit chance. So that's kind of the hook of the game. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I gotta get better at doing the pitch for the game. Oh, I see. Well, the thing about programming is that, yeah, once you know the fundamental concepts, they're very applicable in all kinds of software applications. So yeah, I don't know if you need to learn explicitly how to apply them in game development. If you have that knowledge, I think it's going to be, you're going to know when you can use those things and when not to use those things. Oh, the basilisk eye. So the basilisk eye disabled the dog here. It's exhausted now. So yeah. That pitch was better than most I've heard. Nice. Alchemy is the soul of my game as well. Potion thrower, severely unrated and fantasy setting. Big fan of the mechanic mixing as well. Excited to see what you do here. Thank you, yeah. I am looking forward to it for sure. Looking forward to getting it done anyway. So this is an interesting build that I've got going on here, is that I'm only healing and I'm just outlasting the enemy and the necrosis takes over and kills them. So I could probably get away with like multiple combat encounters here. Look at that ox. What a beautiful ox. So this mushroom, this morale, projects healing to adjacent cards. So it's projecting 6 healing onto this dowsing rod, but crit chance affects heal as well. So you can get critical heals from crit chance. And that's what that 4 exclamation mark is. So I'm just out healing these boards right now. We'll just let the necrosis take over. There we go. This one, I might not be able to outlast this one, but let's see. Oh, it disabled the dog. Look at that. That mutton heals for a lot. Am I gonna win this one? Let's see. I did. Look at that. I'm winning with only healing. I don't have any offensive capabilities. So here's the alchemy. So I'm gonna mix the dowsing rod with the skeleton like I said. Mix those cards into the alchemy, and what do I get? I got a dowsing rod that has 5 turns. This one has 3 turns. Okay, so unfortunately, I did not get the crit chance on this one, and I didn't get the crit chance on this one either. But this one retains the crit chance and has the damage, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. And now I am going to be able to do some offensive damage here. Increase my board size, and do what? This, I guess. Max health increase, increase board size. Unfortunately, I can't make enough room for this. How many ritual cards do I have? Oh, I got a bunch. Okay. That would have been useful, but unfortunately I can't do that. So let's do this. And then we're going to maximize the placement of that morale here. Boom. All right. Let's go to the booster. Let's get, what do I want? Minions, maybe? Salamander. Corvid. Do I want the salamander? I think so, but I'm gonna have to reorient my board again, I think. Oh. Is there a way I can make this work? Yes. There we go. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So increase board size again. I think I'm just gonna get to the boss fight. Oh. I didn't need to play that inventory Tetris because I have more space now. Do I want... Oh, do I not have room? I still don't have room. Okay. Never mind then. That's fine. Okay, we'll take another booster, I suppose. Let's go for a relic. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Let's take the heal. Boss time. Let's go. I always lose to this boss, so we'll see. It might be better though. Nope, I'm probably gonna lose. You can see that this minion has been disabled here. But I'm gonna die anyway. Goodbye. Yeah, I need to rebalance the game for sure, but that's okay. Anyway, for this game, are you using C# Dix or Godot? No, I'm using C# data structures whenever I can. The only time I'd ever use a Godot dictionary is if I needed the dictionary to go through the API layer of the Godot. Like, for instance, if I needed to emit a signal that contains a dictionary, I would need to use a Godot dictionary. A lot of indies in chat, it sounds like. Yes, indeed. Will the sprites get mixed somehow? Unfortunately, no, because there's basically not indefinite, but there's a huge number of permutations about what you can mix together. So what I've settled on instead is when a card has been alchemized, it has this top goopy border effect. So that indicates that a card has been alchemized. And then there's another effect for when the card has been enchanted. So that's kind of like the middle ground that I settled on for telling you what has been alchemized, so that you know at a glance like which cards are likely to be more powerful than typical. But yeah, I don't know how I would mix art. Like if I mixed a skeleton and an ox, like how would I make that art mix? But then I'd have to say, okay, well, what does a skeleton and a morel look like mixed and all that stuff? So yeah, unfortunately, there's not an easy way to do that. I could maybe like just put the sprites together and have a shader just randomly like merge them somehow, but I don't think that would look good, so. But admittedly, I haven't looked into it much. Now I'm coding on my own and I have doubt I refer to ChatGPT, but learning Godot, finish small projects, and one prototype referring Brackety's video. That sounds like a good strategy, yeah. I don't remember when you made it, but does the basilisk guy work every battle? Yes. Why is it always the dog? I think it's randomly choosing it. So the fact that it's choosing the dog, and it could be that the dog is the only minion on the board too. So the basilisk eye only targets minion cards. So if there is no minion on the board, then it's not going to work. And if there is only one minion on the board, then it's always going to target that one, right? When am I going to work on the map some more? Probably in this stream, actually. How many years in game dev are you? I've been doing game development in some form or another since I was 14 years old, and I'm 30 now. So we could say 16 years, although it's not 16 years of like full-time game development effort, obviously, but I've been dabbling in making games for that long. Hello, Damien, welcome back. Man, this game looks so good. Thank you, Michael, I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Are you using Grandeur font? Yes, yes I am. Looks like the one I used. It's a very high quality font, for sure. If you're willing to deviate from this low color count, you could toy with the border color to indicate certain alchemies. Visibility seems low here. The game is near monochrome. Yeah, I'm not going to deviate from the color palette. That is a decision that I've made that's pretty much set in stone. So I'm trying to do the best with what I've got. There are alternate ways I could do it too. Like I could show icons or something. So anyway, back to this. I don't know what to do about this screen. I kind of want to experiment with making it just a vertical scrolling list. Because this floating out here, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Why is that an HBox container? Don't need that. So this card container here, we're gonna make this shrink begin instead. Oh wait, shrink begin. Probably wrap that in a margin container, but what does this look like? I kind of am tempted to make this like a slide out drawer on the right hand side. Let's Let's go work on the map now. No. Where do you get those lovely pixel fonts? The Google font library. Itch.io, yes. Do you think that maybe not liking the layout is just tunnel visioning and the rest of us think it's fine? I mean, I don't really... There are some things that if the viewers think it's fine, then it's fine. But there are some things that if I don't personally like it, then I'm going to change it. Looks like the layout was good before it was messed up. It was functional. It was serviceable before. But I'm going to have more information to display here, so I want to come up with a better, nicer way of showing it. Can you make each description slide out if you hovered over the echo line, for example? I could, but I don't want to go that far yet. I don't want to go that far yet. I'm going to experiment with making this a slide out. Yeah, let's make it a slide out. Let's get rid of the color rect here. Actually, let's put this... Let's get rid of the margins here. And then let's do... Let's do another margin container here. Put the color rect under there. We're going to shrink that to the end, then put that under. Okay, that will be a good enough test here. We can do like a 16 pixel, oh no. Margin container here. Got to study now, see you next stream. All right, good luck with your studying, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you again. Margin left 16, margin top 16, margin right 16, margin bottom probably 16 as well. Okay, let's take a gander at what that looks like. Okay. Sometimes it'll be bigger depending on the size of the icon. Although now I'm thinking that maybe... Where am I changing the scale? Maybe the card doesn't need to be as big anymore. You can always improve it. If he thinks there's work to do, then there's work to do. Yeah, a lot of it is a judgment call, honestly. I just didn't like the layout. I think I like the sliding drawer better, because then I can make this scale, or I can make this scroll here. I was going to need to add scrolling anyway to that other screen, and I think that would have been a mess because I would have had to have 2 scroll bars. One scroll bar for if the abilities are too long, and one scroll bar for if the explanations are too long. And the way to solve that is either only show the explanations on hover, or if I show it as like a list and I just have a single scroll bar, I think that would be preferable actually. I think I'm liking this. So it needs some kind of border obviously, but I might just see how this goes. So what I'm going to do for my dowsing rod, run manager, dowsing rod. I'm just going to add a bunch of stuff to this. Dowsing rod dot add dot cards, dot base card dot add composed abilities, new simple damage. We'll just do this a bunch. I suppose I could have done this in the test. card, but we'll do that. And then we'll do dowsing rod base card, add enchant. New poison enchant. Okay, let's see what that does. The overlay tab is definitely better objectively. See, there you go. It didn't need to be changed maybe, but now it's better, so. But I'm glad you like it. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So I've got a very long description. It's going off the page. So I'm gonna need to introduce a scroll bar to this. And I always get confused about how scroll bars work, so bear with me for a sec. Yep, that's what I thought was gonna happen. Is there like a fit content option? We're gonna disable horizontal scrolling. Disabled, there we go. So when horizontal scrolling is disabled, it stretches to fit the content. Now the problem is that this is being affected by the margin container. So I think this actually needs to, I think this scroll container actually needs to go up here and fit the margin container. Yeah, I think that's right. So now let's try it out. I like the layout, feels like MTG cards, how they list an effect and then descriptions of the effect. Okay, that's good, yeah, that's good. So now we've got a scroll container, which I can scroll here, which will obviously need some styling, but I think that looks great. This is gonna be easier when if I ever do controller support as well. So that's looking good. We'll style that up probably if I decide to keep this. But now the next thing is we've got to animate this. So let's see. Do I need this extra margin container? That's the question. Or can I just tell this margin container to do... Actually, I'm going to need a... Let's do this. You know what? I probably do need that margin container actually. Oops. Let's add a pass-through control. And we'll put the margin container in there. Okay, root container. Look at this freaking node structure. Oh my gosh. Wow. Anyway, sometimes that's the way you got to do things. So this root container here now can be what's the word I'm looking for? Animated. We're going to change this mouse filter to stop here. I think that's what we want to do. I actually don't know how the closing is being handled. Oh, here. Okay. So there's a neat little notification that I can listen for. But let me try something first. Public void play in. So here, oops. Private, what did I call this? Margin container. Root container, is that what I called it? Yeah, root container, play in root container dot. Actually, I think I can do this. Visual utilities dot position node off screen root container. And then we can do var tween equals create tween. Tween property. Tween position, do I have tween position? Yeah, so I created an extension method for tweening positions because I got tired of writing position over and over again. So we want to tween a position to of the node root container to vector 2.0. Let's do 0.3 seconds. Set ease type.out, set transition cubic. Okay. Then after we call setup description or set card stats, we can do play in. Let's see what that does. There might be a positioning or sizing issue here. I'm not sure, but we'll check it out. I think this one is good, better than hiding all the screen in my opinion. Yeah, I think so. Is there a reason why you program in C# and not GT script? Personal preference, yeah. Personal preference. Why not stack? I'm not sure what you're referring to with stack. Boom. That appears to be working. It feels snappy enough, but also animated, so I like that. Do you intend on confining the keyword descriptions to on-cover? Oh my gosh. Let's reset for a second here. Take a deep breath. We are going to speak English correctly. Okay. Do you intend on confining the keyword descriptions to on-hover click? The extra space may help. I may do that in the future, but I think it's not necessary. I think just showing all the descriptions in a scrollable list is a good middle ground, because actually getting these things to work on click is going to be really hard because these are rich text labels. So I'd have to like insert links in here and detect click on individual links and then have a different UI for showing what the tooltip or what the keyword means. And also it's just like, if I can show that information to the user all up front, where they don't have to go through that extra step, then I think that's just better. Hello, Turbo Shook, welcome back. Feel like it really needs an outline of some sort. Yes, it will. So I'm gonna probably do this background overlay as well, because this screen takes focus, right? So I'm gonna do the same background overlay that exists on the map to slightly dim the background. You see how that gets dimmed? I want to do the same for when I pull up the card description so that all of this stuff now in this foreground gets dimmed as well. And then when you click outside of it, it goes away, right? But yeah, there's going to be an outline here. There will be some kind of decoration. I got to figure that out still. Hello, Himanshu, welcome back. What am I making? I'm redoing how the card description works. I just think the vertical space is expensive because you add text, the icon looks more and more lonely in the column up in its corner. Yeah, I mean, I could make the icon part of the flow too. You know, the other thing I could do is I could keep it visually bright here. So like position it on the screen where it was when you clicked on it. Oh, the one thing that's missing too is the grid indicator. So these are supposed to have grid indicators, where did that go? Is it not going to show up now? So we've got this grid indicator too that needs to be shown. So that could potentially be shown in line as well in the vertical spot. Like I'm thinking taking this, orienting it horizontally and putting it right under the text there. That could be something we experiment with too. The good old double dim, yes sir. I learned from your vampire course I need help with levels. Do I have to detach all the script for levels? I'm not sure exactly how to answer that question, but yeah, I'm sure you'll figure it out. All right, let's figure out how to get the dimming in place. Actually, I should probably commit what I've got, or just at least stage what I have. Begin work on card inspector overhaul. So this is the really nice thing. Like I would definitely recommend you use access node as unique name. That's what I was doing for this UI here, and that makes it really easy to redesign the UI, because if everything is being accessed with a unique name, then it doesn't matter what their position in the tree is. I just remade this entire tree basically. I would have had to update all of my node references to every time I change the structure. So especially for UI nodes, that access node as unique name is really, really helpful. Very, very helpful. Okay, so let's go to the player or drawer. Overlay texture. This needs to be local to scene. Oops, it didn't work. Huh? Here we go. So let's just take a gander at what that looks like. Okay, something's broken here. Oh wait, maybe not. Oh. Does the card inspector... Oh, no. I know why this is happening. Because I cranked this up. This should not be that way. Also, there's one change I want to make. Well, that's not working. Okay, let's go to the drawer UI and figure out how to actually animate that. We're going to need a reference to the overlay texture. Dang it, that's going to be harder than I thought. Okay, never mind. So we need these two lines. I guess I can just do this. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Looks sparkle, thank you. Appreciate that. What will happen if the alchemized cards get overlaid with the dimming shader? Shader guru. Well, it shouldn't do anything, because the overlay shader is just a texture that's stretched across the screen, and also it didn't work. Object reference not set to an instance of object. Oh, I never assigned that, did I? Oops. I never assigned it. There we go. Nice. What's cool is it doesn't actually dim the background anymore because the pattern is exactly the same. So I need that to slide out, obviously. Wonder if I should do an overlay. We'll keep it for now. I thought the C# might have some performance benefits compared to GDScript. It really doesn't. In practical use, it doesn't. In narrow cases, it does. But if you're just hoping for general performance improvements from using C#, you're not going to notice them. Hello, Rin. Welcome back. Instead of writing apply 1 poison X times, why not just write apply X poison? Are you talking about in this here? So the problem with merging abilities is that these, so like the enchant, I could probably merge the enchants, but I kind of like keeping them separate because it indicates that you've enchanted it multiple times. But in terms of the abilities, the problem is I can't merge abilities together, at least not easily, because every ability you see here could have different scaling. So it's not just a matter of like adding the damage together and saying it does this much amount of damage, because one damage ability might scale by 100% every level, and one damage ability might scale by 50% every level. And so in order to make that clearer to the user or the player how the scaling is happening, keeping them as separate entries is easier. Yeah, I think that's true, Mia. Yeah. First time on the channel stream. This UI looks super clean. Also happy to see someone using C# with Godot. Welcome, Frank. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question. I'm sure I could write some logic that detects, okay, is the scaling between these two things equal, and are they the same type of ability? If so, then merge them. You know, I could definitely do that, but that seems like quite a lot of work for a case that really isn't going to happen all that often. So we'll see. Hello, Yeet. Welcome back. Good to see you again. So I think I just need to do like an out animation here. So this is currently doing queue free. So what we want to do instead is we want to do a so we'll do a play out. Overlay material, play fade out. Let's do this. Tell the AI here, write a new method that is called get node off screen position. Refactor the method in context to use the new method. Oh, I should have put it in agent mode. Oh well. We'll just apply. Keep. Thank you. I think that should work. The code looks fine. So now what I can do here is I can say off-screen position is equal to visual utilities. Get node off-screen position of the root container. Then when I animate this. Oh wait, I didn't even want to do that. Well, I guess I'll keep that in place. I had a brain fart. That's not what I want to do. Off-screen position is going to be equal to size root container dot size dot x. Oh well, I'm sure that will come in handy in the future. Oh, I'm changing play in on accident. Son of a bee. Okay. Tween dot finished plus equals queue free. Oh, this needs to do game speed manager.resume in here as well. So this will just be play out. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Why does work have me on a lunchtime meeting? Don't they know that's my eating time? Seriously. Seriously. Just eat at the meeting. Talk to them with a mouthful of food that'll show them. Just eat the meeting itself. We all just unanimously agree, yeah. So I'm just gonna eat during the meeting and perpetually have food in my mouth in case they need me to talk. There you go. That's the way to do it. Okay, now we've got a slide in and slide out animation. What I do need to do is I need to store the tween. So private tween tween.kill if valid. Then in play out, we'll do the same thing. This is just to make sure that I don't have multiple tweens running at the same time. So anytime I set up the new tween, I just kill the existing one. If it's a thing. Which shouldn't really make much of a difference, but that should prevent any like weird animation issues. Yeah, I definitely want to experiment with making this a little bit different in terms of its display. But we've got the nice scroll bar, and we've got the animations going in and out. Now let's see what happens if I do this on an enemy board here. I think that looks great. I think that's working great. So yeah, this chunk here is a little bit awkward, so I'm gonna address that next, I think. But I think overall this is an improvement. I do need a border on this side, I guess, of some kind. So I need to figure out what to do about that. I just need to figure out what I'm doing with the borders generally. Like, I'm not entirely sure I'm satisfied with this border here even. So I might try to do a tileable border that has a little bit more detail. Like, I think a tileable border that has like little skull motifs or something would be kind of cool. So maybe we'll just try that for fun on the stream as well. But I have some layout issues that I still want to address, but I think this is looking good overall. Now the last thing that I want to do is I also want to see if this is going to work in my board configuration manager. I think it should. Well, let's see. This meeting could have just been an email, yeah. Okay, it still works in here too. Perfect. And, oh, last thing I want to do. I think the card inspector actually probably already has the proper layer set. I just want to make sure that's the case. Layer 1. Let's set this to layer 5. Just to be sure that it renders on top of everything. Okay. All right. We'll commit that. Cool. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break and get a refill of my drink and all that good stuff. When I come back, we'll continue working on this layout, and then maybe we'll do some little border art or something. We'll figure out how to make that look good. In the meantime, I do have my new course available now. It's the Create a Complete Multiplayer Game in Godot 4 course. Let me pull it up so you can see it. Here it is. Hot and new. Get it while it's hot and new. So this is a great way to support me. And also I need those early ratings. So if you take the course and you do a couple of the lessons and you like it, give it an honest rating. I'd appreciate that. And that's going to help me out a lot. The big goal now is to get on the Udemy front page. And then once I'm there, I'll be set. So your help in this matter is greatly appreciated. And thank you to everyone that has already purchased it. I very much appreciate that. I know there's several people in the chat that have already bought it. So thank you so much for that. It's already a great success, the course. So yeah, definitely consider purchasing this if you haven't yet. And I will be right back in a couple of minutes and we'll continue on. Okay, I'm back. Welcome back to me. Let's do the map now. Oh, goodness. Let's go hot and new, yes. What was the card dice throwing the game that looks similar to Gunforged in this, what? Back soon screen? What was the card dice throwing game that looked similar to Gunforged? Oh, that's Ace of Sphinx. Yeah, that's Ace of Sphinx. That was a entry for GMTK Jam 2023, I think. Was it 2023 or was it 2024? Oh no, it might have been... Shoot, I don't know which one that was for. It was for one of the GMTK Jams. So yeah, that game actually got featured in Mark Brown's video covering the game jam. It wasn't one of the top 20 entries, but it got like 3 seconds of B-roll footage in his video, so I will call that a success. I'll call that a success. So anyway. Hello, iCode Stuff. Been super busy. No worries. Welcome back. Great to have you again. And anyway, this stuff right here, this card container, let's make this HBox container. And we are going to move this maybe under here. This might look weird, but let's see. And now we've got kind of a redundant HBox container, so that can go there. Now this is redundant as well, I think. Yeah, that's redundant, and this is also redundant, so we can get rid of that. Let's see how that looks. Oh, is this still scaled? How is this being scaled? Oh, I see, that's much different. Well, that doesn't look too good either, does it? Skeleton, yes indeed. Welcome, A the Ant. Shoot, I don't know what to do about this. I could potentially put it up here next to the title. Let's try that maybe. Now the grid indicator is going to be a problem, but let's just hide that for now. Let's see what that looks like. Let's just click through and see what that feels like. Because I am going to have larger cards too. So there's embalming fluid, dousing rod. The mouse events are still getting hovered. I don't know why that's happening. What if I moved it to the other side? That's going to look like it's floating over there as well. I wonder if I just need to do an 8 pixel separation there, maybe. Can we really have a skeleton with a saxophone and call it a skeleton bard? It would be funny. That would be really funny, actually. I will consider it. Do we like the texture being there or no? I assure you it's really, really okay. It's never okay. I just need to figure out what to do with the icon and the grid indicator. I think the rest of it is fine. I just want to figure out a good place for these things. Because I still need to figure out, yeah, the grid indicator. Which shows like what cells the card affects. This thing. That looks good, but I said that 30 minutes ago. I mean, I think it's okay with the texture up here aligned with this. The problem is some of these. Was I mistaken when there was like an issue here? I don't know. But this test card, this card container, is this set to shrink center? It is. Oops. We can do the fill here. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's when it's a problem. So I think what I need to do is add a margin container here. And just bring this down, whatever this is. 8 pixels. Maybe even just 7. Okay. Although I think that's only the case. Oh, there might be a problem here actually. Yeah, the text is still being aligned like that. Oh, if I make it fill, it'll be fine. Okay, that'll work. And then it will wrap. Yeah. That'll work real good. Although, why don't I just make... Does the VBox container not have a separation value? It doesn't. So I'll just make that an 8 separation. Then I can remove the margin container, I think. Or can I? Oh, maybe not. Okay. We'll just put it back the way it was. That's what the grid indicator is for. It's not super intuitive. Yeah, I mean, if you have a suggestion for how to make it more intuitive, I'm all ears. So now there's just a question of what to do with this, or I could just leave it. The problem is things like the alembic have weird targeting, so I need to communicate that in some way. That's why I think I need the grid indicator. So if I go to my embalming fluid here, where is it? Embalming fluid. If I change this to an alembic, the alembic has weird targeting. which is not apparent just by hovering over the card. So the alembic, it targets all cards going up the column where its root position is, and it targets all cards going across the row where its root position is. And that's not something that you would easily be able to figure out just by hovering over it. So I think I do need some kind of grid indicator of like what it targets. I just don't know exactly how to show that in a minimal way. I like this perfectionism he has with HUD. I don't even think it's perfectionism. I just think it's like, this is really basic stuff actually. And I just struggle to get everything laid out correctly. Maybe I'll ask my UX friend what to do about this. But I think this looks good. I think generally, like, without the grid indicator. So if I just, where is my grid indicator here? Where is it? Oh, is it already invisible? No, it's not. Here it is, grid indicator. Let's just hide that for now. We'll see. I would have already given up 5 times. It's rather impressive the speed at work at so much changed over the last hour. It helps when you know what, like, how to use the tool. You know, layout is one of those things where, like, I've used the Godot layout system enough to know, generally speaking, how to lay out things the way that I want them to be. I don't spend a lot of time fiddling with like size flags or positionings or anything. So most of this is just now just trying to figure out what the actual position of these things should be. But I think it does look good without without the grid indicator. So yeah, I just need to figure out what to do about that, I suppose. I just need to figure out what to do about that. I think it looks fine. I just wish I knew where to put the grid indicator, that's all. There's also a little bit of extra space here. I don't know where that's coming from. Oh, it was coming from that useless container I had. Okay, that's why that space was there. Boom, boom. I think this looks fine. Yep, just a matter of trying to figure out what the heck to do with... I kind of want to play with this dowsing rod. Let me just see what this does real quick. It just does all the damage at the same time. That's pretty funny. Anyway, the scroll bar is nice. I like that. I'm gonna have to change the styling for that. Yeah, I just need a position for the grid indicator. I wonder if I could fit it over here. Let me try that. So in this thing here, stats container, this is a VBox container. That's HBox, that's HBox. So I'm gonna need another HBox under that. Oops. No, this stats container needs to change to a VBox. Okay. What is the separation here? 4? So I'll get rid of that. Put this in here. This VBox container needs to have a separation of 4, which I guess is the default separation. Good to know. Change this type to an HBox container. put the grid indicator under there. And I guess we'll just make this expand. I don't know, we'll see. One of the problems is that this ends up having a massive minimum size. So yeah, that's not exactly working the best. Hell. Just want to drop in and say hello. Hello, Dragon Apple, welcome. I'm a beginner at Godot struggling to figure out styling the scroll bar and are finding the 9-patch slice. Do you know where to go for it? Oh, the scroll bar styling? I think... I wish I could tell you. I think it's just a progress bar. I think if you go into the theme here and you go to into progress bar, or no, is that right? No, it's not progress bar. It's let me delete that. I think it's, oops, ah, shoot, what am I doing? V scroll bar. I think if you style the V scroll bar. So you've got these grabbers and grabber highlight, grabber pressed. So I think if I just did this grabber style box flat and I just change this to that white or whatever, I think that's what's going to do it. So the way that the scroll container works under the hood is that it actually sets up additional nodes for you. So it's kind of deceiving the way that it works, but yeah, see now I've got a white scroll bar here. So it's kind of deceiving because the scroll bar, if I look at my remote scene tree here, and I go to, oh shoot, I don't remember, here it is. So if I find my scroll container, so you see how the scroll container, it contains my margin container that I placed there, but then it also puts an H scroll and V scroll there as a child automatically for you. And so you can actually target this node in particular if you only want to change the scroll bar theming there, but it's just like a scroll bar that you could add by yourself. You can change all the properties that you want to change. But if you wanted to inherit like a global style, then you would style the V scroll bar or H scroll bar, depending on how your scroll container is working. So that's how you do that. Has any effort been put into romanceable NPCs yet? No worries. Satanic Bean, no worries at all. New description UI is looking really nice. Thank you. Forgotten. Godot has its own 9-patch node. Yeah, so 9-patch comes into effect when you're doing your style box styles. And it also comes into effect if you do like, I think there's a 9-slice rect by itself. 9-patch rect, yeah. It's game dev time once again. Yes, it is, Jackie Daytona. Yes, it is. That clears things up a lot. You're welcome. More customization than I was expecting. Yeah, you can theme everything basically in Godot, any control nodes, with some very small exceptions. I have a bunch of refactoring to do, so I will go heads down on that. Thanks for the tips and stream. You're welcome. When can we romance Firebelly? I'm taken, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm taken. Stay away from me. I agree. Romance NPC update when? Oh my gosh. Would they come with the Sax Bard DLC? That look of, sir, this is a Necromancer game. Yeah, seriously. We are not going to go there. We are not going to go there. Okay, I think I want to try some border stuff now. I think this is looking great. I got to figure out what to do about that grid indicator. I just don't know where to put it. Or don't know how to display it. But I think it's looking great, generally speaking. Very happy with the rework here. I have a couple of issues, like I don't know why the mouse events are not being blocked. I wonder if that's a simple fix or not. But Mouse filter, ignore this margin container. It has a mouse filter stop, so I don't know why those mouse events are still being handled. But let's do some border stuff. Okay. Tweaks to card inspector. He's taken. Blink twice if you're in Barcelona. Well, you could raise a family. Yeah. Okay. True. No, yeet. No. This might be the most offensive thing I've ever told a programmer, but you've got that pirate software hair. Oh my gosh. I won't take offense at that. Can we marry Waterbelly? Waterbelly? No. Waterbelly is an otherworld elite entity. So, yeah, sorry guys. Sorry everybody. Can you make animated borders in Godot? I think you could, but I don't know exactly how to do that. I think it should be possible. Maybe with a shader. You could add a card that's possessed item. Maybe there could be multiple cards for different items. Interesting. Well, thank you, A the Ant, for the $5. Very much appreciate that. That's $4.99. Sorry, I was being too generous. No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much for the $5. Very much appreciate that. And yeah, if you want to elaborate a little bit on what a possessed item could do or what it would be like, I'm very much open to that suggestion. It sounds interesting. So yeah, but thank you again. I appreciate that. When is the course going on sale? It's out of my control. Udemy manages the price and sale of my course. My courses, plural. So I would say just keep regularly checking in if you're interested in getting it on sale. If you do want to get it on sale though, just at least be sure to use my referral code. So bookmark the referral code link, or you could just come back to any of my videos and click on the referral code link. You should still be able to take advantage of whatever sales Udemy is running, even if you use my referral code. So that would be much appreciated. Hello, Kzori, welcome back. Maybe possessed could be you can use an enemy card. That's an interesting idea. I'm sniping for the sale too. Udemy is such a scam. They definitely do a lot of marketing, to put it nicely. They definitely do a lot of marketing. Any suggestion on how to learn shaders for Godot? I'm planning to learn how to do shaders in the future. For now, GDScript is all my time. Yeah, I mean, shaders is just one of those things where you kind of have to just get in there and like try to understand what you're doing. You could start by doing a simple hit flash shader. So like flashing a sprite white when it gets hit and then gradually fading away from white. That's actually a very simple shader, but it's going to be really hard to do if you don't know how to work with shaders. So I think that's like a perfect use case of like getting your, like dipping your toes into that world, because you need to understand like how to sample textures, you need to understand how to mix colors, how to work with shader uniforms and that kind of thing. So it's a relatively easy and small shader to do, but you're probably going to struggle with it for a while you're writing it, just understanding what's happening. I still remember you only getting 40% of my purchase. Yeah, it's okay. Support is support, you know? Maybe the items could be stuff that the enemies would own. Maybe like possess closed drawer or 1x2 card. Gotcha, okay. Are the sales regional? I don't know exactly how it works, but yeah, I don't think they're really global necessarily. Also, the pricing is regional for sure. So it will display the price in your local currency, as well as any like price adjustments that need to happen for that region. That's cool. And notice that you can use a lot simple kind of shader. Yeah, I use it Flash in my game, but of course downloaded it from internet. Yeah, that's a good case study, I think. Shaders are simple because their job is touching the screen color with UV coordinator. The complicated thing is how to change the color or move it as you want. Yeah, it's definitely like shaders are probably, maybe not probably, maybe even definitely the most math intensive game development that you're ever going to do. So it requires a different way of thinking about it. And anywho, there's like a 9-patch rect mode in Sprite, which I want to try. But let's do this first. Well, if I want to try that, I'm going to do a relatively large canvas. How can I do that? Well, let's just save this real quick. UI. Let's create a new folder. Panel. We'll call this border. Is there a way to do 9 slice? 9 slice in Sprite. There's supposedly a slice tool in here. Oh, okay, interesting. And then can I resize this? I can, okay. So we've got a slice tool. That's gonna be useful. Let's do this then. So let's just make this, oh goodness, how do I delete slices? Go away. No, go away. Oh, I can just select it and delete it. Okay. Good. Okay, let's do background here, and we'll lock that, and then I'll just go ahead and put up my grid. 16 by 16. Okay, cool. So I'm thinking about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this effectively, but if I can give the impression of little skulls here. This is going to be hard. Oh, goodness. I already don't know how to draw skulls. Okay. I'm just going to do this. Might have to do something a little bit different, but let's see. That looks decent. It's going to be too thick though, I think. So that's not going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off skulls here. It's gonna need to be like super tiny like this. Oh, that looks kind of cute. Oh, look at that. There's a skull. Okay, that works. And then I'm thinking about doing like little... If I can, just do like little bones or something. I think that looks kind of good, actually. Does Book of Shaders work? I don't know what that is. Oh, is that an actual book? The shader part that threw me off was that I had to make it local to scene, else shader changes carried over to the other variances that I didn't want. Yeah. Regional prices, they are not helping me out here on Second World Country. I'm sorry to hear that. When the possessed card triggers, maybe it could affect both monster and you, then you could use possess for both an enemy item and yours. Oh, interesting. That is an interesting idea. So would you possess an enemy then? Let's see. Possession effect. Possessions, maybe that's, I already have a haunt status here. I think I'm gonna replace the haunt status with this actually. Possession. Enemy card applies effects to both enemy and player, something like that. One can learn from Book of Shaders. Right now I'm doing something I'm gonna guess most people would find kind of crazy, localizing my game for Japanese by myself. Ooh, well that sounds like a great way to learn a language, at least to some extent. I wanted to, you know what I want to try, and maybe I'll get hate for this, but if I ever do localization, what I might do is I might just pipe it through GPT and say like, translate this in all these languages. Because the benefit I think of using an LLM for that is that it could also do localization at the same time, right? Because localizing is not just a matter of translating, it's also a matter of like using the proper cultural context and all that stuff. So if you just pipe a big CSV through ChatGPT and say localize every one of these strings for Japanese, that might work. I don't know how well it would work. I don't know how I'd verify it. I don't know any Japanese speakers, but got a slice and then edit the slice. Okay, gotcha. The regional pricing for my region is actually not bad when I buy a course full price and see it on sale 2 days later. I feel like a moron. Yeah. Why are you even using Udemy? Their marketing really worth the massive pay cut you're getting? Well, that's the thing. You can't just think of it as, well, Udemy is taking a massive cut. It's, what are the sales that I could have gotten by myself otherwise? And the answer to that question is, I'm not sure that I would be able to. I wouldn't have the thousands of students that I have without Udemy's marketing. So could I have made more money than I have without Udemy? I doubt it. I doubt it. And I would have had to pay a marketing guy anyway to do my marketing for me. So like, at the end of the day, if Udemy is taking a big cut of a sale that they are making on my behalf, I might as well be paying a marketer to do that for me, you know? And also, I can still do my own marketing with Udemy, because if I market my referral code, I could create a landing page for my course and make it like all SEO optimized and everything, and then say, buy the course here, and it redirects to Udemy with my referral code. And I would still get the overwhelming majority of the sale using my referral code. So I can still do my own marketing with Udemy as well. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. Udemy does their own organic marketing, mostly on their behalf, because they get most of the money if they market my course. But then I can also do my own marketing on the side with my referral code, and it'll be as if I'm maintaining my own course and my own platform. Also, I'm going to upload the courses to YouTube and open those up for YouTube memberships as well. Localizing what text it currently has, it's far from done. Gotcha. Has a lot of math. If you think you understand linear algebra, it would be easy to write shader codes. Interested in how Firebelly's going to spell K-Azori. I'm probably not going to do localization, honestly. It's too much effort. Whoever mentioned animated outlines, Godot 4.5, I think will have stencil support. To my understanding, that will be easier outline logic. Gotcha. I'll do Turkish for free. Oh yeah, that's right. I have an international audience here that could maybe do localization for me. The community could help. Japan. I'm in the GMTK Game Jam. I just need an artist and a composer. Well, good luck finding one, Kazori. In my experience, LLMs are good at getting the meaning across, but excessively terrible at keeping the tone, style, and quality right. Oh, gotcha. Okay. GPT is okay at localizing simple UIs, but I think dialogue might have their tone changed. Yeah, that's what I was mostly thinking, is using it for simple UIs. If I had a very story-heavy game, I would definitely pay somebody to do the localization, because I wouldn't want that to happen. But for this game, like where the descriptions, like there's not really any lore yet, maybe one of these streams will add some flavor text. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Tried to experiment with it a bit to see if it could be useful for learning. It does help a little, but not very much. Tone especially is important, like a pirate might start talking like a businessman when the AI tries to translate it. Just send me, I will translate to Portuguese for you. I promise I'm better than AI. Okay. Spanish here, wow. Aren't most of your students coming from YouTube? Isn't Udemy only going to show your course to people already on Udemy's website? I rarely ever see Udemy courses in search result. Well, I think a lot of people do go to Udemy, like if I was looking for an online course for anything, I'd probably just go to Udemy first and do a search. And that's why my courses being on the front page is so important, because I'm sure there's a lot of people going to Godot. Like, so when that whole Unity fiasco happened, when the whole Unity fiasco happened, there were a lot of people that just went straight to Udemy and searched for Godot courses. And so I saw a huge uptick in my course sales when everyone was like fleeing ship or abandoning ship over the Unity thing. I didn't do any marketing. I didn't say, hey, you know, you don't like Unity anymore, come to Godot. I just got an influx of sales because it showed up on Udemy. So I can translate to English, yeah. Are you legally allowed to use the course content on other sites? Yeah, the way the agreement works is I grant Udemy a license to sell my content, but the content is still mine. So I can do whatever I want with it. I do have to make sure that it's not cheaper than Udemy. So I can't just like host it for free somewhere, basically. But that will not be the case if I do like a YouTube membership. Udemy and Domestika ads all the time on Instagram. Based on the amount of people here willing to translate, I guess I better start becoming a game dev YouTuber. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we got Biscuit offering to be a composer. There we go. I guess this is why I need a Discord so you guys can connect there. Yeah, look at that. Next message. I do want to, so I need to, this needs to be probably my next focus is I need to get YouTube membership set up. I need to get a public playtest for this game available, and I want to set up the Discord. And I want all of that to kind of happen all at the same time, I think. So I need to get started. I need to get, yeah, there's a lot to do. Oh, there's so much to do. There's so much to do. Yeah, I will probably do that. I can help with Chinese. I'm going to translate to Russian and Georgian. We'll figure out that when we get there. We'll figure that out when we get there. Okay, so I was drawing some borders here, some little skeleton borders. Ooh, that's working perfectly. Look at that. I didn't even try to draw it perfectly, and it drew perfectly. Oops. Now the problem is this might not look great when I 9 slice it, but we'll see. It might look okay though. Wait, did I flip that one wrong? I think I did. Okay, there's a little border. I don't know if it's gonna look good, but we'll find out. We'll find out. How much is this? This is only 5 pixels, okay. So let's do a slice now. Nope. Okay, Slice properties. Okay. Slice properties, 9 slices, 5, 5. This would be 32 minus 5. Nope. Huh? Slice properties. I don't understand. Oh, does it need to be the width from here to here? 22. That's kind of a dumb way of doing it, but that's all right. There we go. Can I duplicate this? Nope. Okay, so now how do I actually get this to apply the slicing? I don't know how to do this. Wasn't there a new feature in Sprite where you could do this? Let me see. I thought I saw this in the Sprite update notes. Maybe not, though. Resizing slices. Oh, transform. Oh, there's a transform button at the top. Transform. Wow. Oh, but it stretches by default. It doesn't tile. Okay. Well, that's not terribly useful then. Whatever. I think what I do want to do though is delete those. Well, I guess we'll just see what happens. That slice ended up being useless. I was hoping I'd be able to, well, maybe. Okay, yeah, that's not helpful. Anyway. Oops. Sprite crop. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this border looking good. I need localization help translating my game idea to Godot. Hello, Slow Alex. Welcome. I usually catch your stream from work and can't comment, but been watching for a while. Love your stuff. Keep it up. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I really love the bone border already. Fun to say too. Bone border, yeah. I think it's going to look okay. Next stream will be a map stream, and that's not a suggestion. All right, fine. All right. Textures should be repeatable along the edges. Yeah. Hello, Awab. Just late. That's okay. How's it going? It's going well. How are you doing? Flavor text when, date and time on a postcard, please. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to do that on a stream because then we could just all like theory craft together about what this world is like, you know? So if you click on a slice, you will get options at the top. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, let's get the bone border in place. Do I want to use a panel? I probably want to change this to a panel container. Oh wait, did I need that to be a margin container? No. So we'll use a panel container. This has a border by default. So we'll go into theme. I might as well just change the theme in here. Oh, I already have a, oh. Oops, okay, we're gonna add a theme variant then. Panel, container, we'll do bone border. Base type of panel container. Add this new style box texture. And here, quick load, bone. What did I call it? Border, just border. Okay, texture margins, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Expand margins, axis stretch, we're doing tile and tile. Okay, now in this root container here, type variation, border, panel border, oh. It's adding padding around it. So I guess that's okay. That might be okay if I do this. Because now I don't need that color rectangle either. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. How are we feeling about the bone border? It's subtle enough where I think people are going to notice it. But it also just, like, if you're not paying attention to it, it kind of just feels like a border. I know you can't see it that well. Adding padding rhymed perfectly. Yes, yes. Hello, welcome Vishal. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sorry, I got to do something real quick. It's cool, you like it? How does it look in the game when we slide it in? Let's take a look. I love the bone border. Yeah, let's take a look. Vince vibes here. Oh, is it not animating in anymore? Oh, I know why. Because this root container here is typed as a margin container when it's a panel container now. So that should fix it. Bone border. Maybe it should be hidden on the right side though, since it's on the edge of the screen. That's a good point. Oh, we got the scroll bar here too. I do like the bone border though. I wonder if this might be overkill, but I wonder if adding just a little bit of highlighting in here is going to make a difference. I'm kind of curious to see what that does. Or if it's going to be, it's probably going to be too distracting, but let's just see. That might give it a little bit more depth. Ooh, I like that. I think that looks much better. Today is one of those days where I need more caffeine than is healthy for my heart. You know, sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta do it. One thing I want to change in the theme here is I actually want to try making this border, this panel container bone border, Span margin 5. Oh no. I think that's right. So if I make the content margins 0, put the, let's see. Where was that color rect before? Was it under here? Yeah. I just want to see what happens if I put this back and then also remove that. Oh, this needs to be show behind parent. So now I've got kind of like an inset border. Yeah, so I've got an inset border. So it's not accounting for the border width when it's doing the panel container, which is fine because now when I have that scroll bar on the right-hand side, I think it's just going to cover the border. Yeah, so now it just covers the border, which is, I think, good. Probably do want to remove the right-hand side border, generally speaking. But I like that. I think it looks nice, honestly. I could even potentially do something fancy. So let's get rid of this color rectangle. I could do something fancy here where I do, like I fill in this area here, but then I cut it out around the outside. You know what I mean? So that it looks more organic. I probably do want to keep at least, yeah, an outline at least. Okay, bear with me here. There has to be an easier way to do this. Oh well. I'm sure there's somebody out there that thinks doing pixel art like this is therapeutic. Is there an easier way to do this? Oh, wait. Yes, there is. So dumb. I'm so dumb. Oops. There we go. I did it. All right. So yeah, now it's got like a more organic border here. So anything that's underneath it will be kind of like clipped in a more natural way, I think. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. The highlights look nicer. I think so, yeah. For my calculus test, I was awake for 3 days to study a night, drunk 7 cans of energy drink and passed out. I failed. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. Caffeine is not good. Yeah, I think... I don't know. I don't know. We all love our caffeine, I guess. Yeah, the scroll bar is ugly, but I'll fix that. Maybe the scroll bar can be just like a bone or something too. That would be kind of funny. I think it's looking good though. I'm not sure about the border existing at the top and bottom of the screen either. Maybe I'll just make it a left border.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
But I think it looks fine. Oh, it's not getting cut off properly down here either. I probably didn't need that change that I made. So let's do this. Let's put the content margins back the way they were. I think that will fix that. Yeah, now it's getting cut off at the bottom properly. Okay. But now the scroll bar here, so I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that specifically, but it'll work. I'm entirely caffeine free and quite glad about it, gotta admit, that's good. Looks nice, but the scroll bar is out of place. Yeah, scroll bar is just a placeholder. It's not final. I'm not somebody. It's therapeutic. Do you plan on adding holographic versions of weapons? Well, yeah, I mean, there's an enchantment system in this game, which is like adding extra capabilities to a card. So if that's what you're referring to, then yeah, that system already exists. Yeah, I definitely want to make it so that there's a lot of different ways to improve the power of your cards, for sure. So that's definitely going to be a thing. All right, let's try a run real quick. I don't like caffeine. Game looking good. Can you talk about your gameplay loop a little? Couldn't find any info. Yeah, let me, I'm just going to play the game right now and show you. Okay, so yeah, basically it's a collectible card game, grid, inventory management, auto battler, where you've got these cards that all have abilities, as we're seeing here. And it's just a matter of laying out your grid in a way that maximizes the abilities that your cards have. So this Morel projects heal onto adjacent cards, which means that it's going to give the skeleton a healing ability when the combat starts. And since it's an auto battler, basically the way that you do it is you just go into the combats here, you enter combat, and then click start, and then you just watch the combat play out. You can control the speed here, so I'll just make it go faster. But you can see that I've healed now because that's projecting heal onto my abilities there, or onto my skeleton. And basically, you just try to go and get as much power as you can before you're automatically thrust into a boss fight. And then once you beat the boss, you go on to the next level. And that's basically the gameplay loop. It's a roguelike formula. So the idea is that you're going to have a different experience every time. And I'll show you the alchemy system too. The alchemy system is a main hook of this game. So beat that guy, barely. So we got the alchemy here. This allows you to mix and match cards. So I've got this dowsing rod, which has a 50% crit chance here. I'm going to mix that with probably my skeleton. Mix those things together. And that creates... Oh, my dowsing rod is way overpowered. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, that creates a skeleton that has properties of both. Or a dowsing rod that has properties of both. This is like my debug thing, so I shouldn't have put that in there because it has way too many abilities, but... you know, maybe I'll just grab this anyway. But anyway, so you can see how I get a skeleton now with 50% crit chance and some of the abilities from both. I'm not going to use this anymore, though. Shoot, I should have thought about that before I did that. Oh well. But yeah, you can alchemize cards together to create different combinations of cards. And I actually am going to cheat. Let's put that there. So it's just going to do massive damage every time. But it crits because it's got that 50% from the dowsing rod. Ooh, that's a lot of blood there. I can increase my board size. I can do an enchant. Let's go ahead and add an enchant to this one. Yeah. Increases critical chance. So that is a 10% crit chance now. So yeah, this is kind of how the game is going. Deferred rendering, study style, caffeine overclock, and OS crashed, yeah. That's a funny one. Bone bar. I got the ADHD, so caffeine either makes me normal with a rapid heart rate or I fall asleep. Rough. I mean, like making them shine and sparkle. Oh, I see what you mean. That would be hard to do with the limited color palette I have. You've not experienced life until you've drunk 40 espressos worth of caffeine with energy drinks and then pass out in the living room floor. How's your game? It's going well, Kelso, thank you. How long have you been working on this? A couple of months at this point. Hello, cat. A couple of months. So we got an axe there. Ooh, another alchemy here. So this axe doubles the damage dealt if there's an adjacent minion. So there's an axe there. And I may merge this with this. Maybe I'll get an axe with poison. Nope. Although I did get a ceremonial dagger. Oh, this is nasty. So it's 2 turns. It applies 2 poison because it got upgraded. And it deals 10 damage. And it will deal 10 more damage if there's an adjacent minion. So now I can actually do that. I can do this. Put the morale there. Put this here. And so now this, since it's adjacent to a minion, is going to deal that extra damage. Let's go to the booster. There's an artifact there. I want to grab the artifact. I don't know if I have enough. I'll just take another axe, I guess. Oh, I can't get to the artifact. Shoot. So you're going to have to manage your movement budget as well. Oh my gosh, that guy got destroyed. Upgrade a card. I don't think I have anything to upgrade, so skip. And then you get thrown into the boss fight after you do 10 moves. Which I'm going to die, probably. Or maybe not. Let's see. Oh, I might not die. I might not die. If I can just survive this volley here, I think I'll be good. And I didn't. Cool. I didn't survive. Yes, there we go. I beat the boss, and there's nothing that happens after the boss because I haven't built that yet. So, yeah. That'll probably be the end of the public playtest. So, I think the public playtest will just be like that narrow experience that you found, just because I don't want to go too far in development without getting some feedback first on like how it all works. So, is this game have one language? Yes. Right now, anyway. Yes, I love cats too. I see look like months of work straight on your game make it pretty well good. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it's going well. Okay, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. I think we hit a new record high of concurrent viewers, so that's great. So yeah, thank you again, everybody. And again, please check out my Udemy course. Hold on, let me pull it up. Please check out my new Udemy course. Create a complete online co-op multiplayer game in Godot if you're interested in learning how to do such a game. Yeah, if you've taken my other courses, I think you'll know what to expect in terms of quality and all that stuff. But yeah, leave a review if you end up purchasing it, and I'd appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Be right back here streaming this game again. Okay, don't forget to fix the dowsing rod. Yeah, true. Okay, thanks again, everyone, and thank you for the support, and I will talk to you later.